Okay, so we are on live. Hi, good evening, viewers. So after a few days, we are now on Career Coffee Live, and today is actually a really exciting because I have somebody who's a veteran in training industry. Today is going to be a lot of excitement because we are going to learn a lot about our self development. I have with us the most eminent trainer, one of the top 10 trainers in India, the international trainer, Adv.Vamanakumar. He's a chief coach, he's a mentor to many with more than 1 lakh hours of training. And that is an amazing number because he has been training and coaching people for the past 30 years with so many companies, more than 100 companies he is training. And with that expertise, he is with us to guide us through how to build a right career through this topic, reinvent yourself, and how can you be a people leader. Welcome, Advocate Vamanakumar. Vaman sir, thank you so much for joining with us.
Thank
Welcome to
you.
the show Career Coffee. Thank you so much for joining
Thank
with
you.
us. And
Thank you,
we have,
Srigaran. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
so we have Mr. Manoj Govind as well. So he's also internationally reputed trainer. I have to see he's mentored by Vaman Kumar ji as well. So, I invited Manoj sir to be here so that, we can throw a lot of questions which we all of us want to know. And please, I expect your participation as well. Whatever question you have about your life, your career, about, building your capacity, capability, please shoot your questions and we'll throw it to this expert who is with us. So let us directly get into the session. I'm also so excited because first time I'm attending your session. So that is why I'm also getting so much excitement now. So, Vaman sir, so my first
Yes.
question is, how did you build a career? Because this is something everyone wants to hear.
Okay. Srigaran, I do consider it as a great honor to me to come here with you and Manoj Govind, a very, very dear friend of mine, in this Facebook Live program. Really, it is a big honor to me, or rather a recognition to me. Last 28 years, I'm in the training job or the profession. And I'm so happy that I'm going to communicate and interact with the youngsters who are really trying to build up their career in the future. Talking about my personal career, or how did I build up my career? To be very candid and honest, I was born and brought up in a remote village of the northern part of Kerala called Kasaragod. And you won't believe that we had only one school in my village up to only 7th standard during those young days. My parents were illiterate coolie workers or farmers or agriculture laborers. And my eldest sister didn't go to school because when my mom went to job every day, there was no one else to look after the 3 of her siblings or the brothers. I was the youngest of the 4. And my 2 brothers decided, why should we go to study? Because most of the people in my village stopped their studies at 7th standard, because if we had to go to high school education, we had to travel around 8 kilometers up and down, means 16 kilometers walking. There was no commutation facility. There was no transport facility. But myself being so ardent to study, I completed my 10th exam. And then I wanted to go study science subjects. But unfortunately, the college was 50 kilometers away. There was no hostel facility. And my agricultural farmer father told me, son, you better stop your studies. So somehow I managed my studies for my junior college. I was supported by the person who was running a private institution, and he gave me fee concession. Rather, he was even giving me the books also for my studies. After completing my pre-degree in arts subject, I was so keen to go to the college because my passion was to speak to people. I thought that if I go to the college, I will get an opportunity to speak to the students and I can impress them. So I somehow managed to get admission in the college. First year, somehow I pulled on with the support of my sister. She got married that time, and her brother-in-law. Second year, I started doing these college tuition classes for the school-going students near to my college. And I was earning some little bit of money. And Saturday, Sunday, I used to go back to my village and I joined my brothers for the daily coolie work. But by the grace of God, I completed my studies in economics with the first class in 1983. And I joined for my post-graduation still farther a place called Kannur. I had to travel 130 kilometers, but I decided to stay there only. Again, I continued my tuition classes and I made my money to meet my educational expenses. I'm happy to tell you that I was a university rank holder in 1986, MA Economics from Calicut University. And those days, I wanted to become a lecturer only, teacher only, but I couldn't afford it because those days in private colleges, we had to pay minimum 2 to 3 lakhs rupees to get a job. So what was the next option? I joined in a private unrecognized college, what we normally call as parallel colleges in Kerala, and I started my career as a teacher. Meanwhile, a friend of mine, a colleague of mine, wanted to join for law. And he told he didn't want to travel alone. He forced and compelled me to join law. So for him, to give him company to travel from our place, Nileshwar, to Calicut Government Law College, I joined for law and I completed law with a high first class. By the time I was running a college, I started a college of my own, wherein there were more than 1,500 students studying with from pre-degree to post-graduation courses. And after 2-3 years, I felt that if I'm going to continue here, definitely I will be there only. Meanwhile, I got a golden opportunity to attend or listen to a trainer in 1990. When I listened to a trainer, he was a JC trainer. I got so fascinated and impressed by the delivery of the gentleman. I decided rather than being just a lawyer or a teacher, I want to become a trainer. So in 1992, through the platform of an organization called the Junior Chamber International, I became a qualified trainer. I became a zone trainer, then I became a national trainer. Then in 2000, I became an international trainer. And I went on to training people. And through the forum of JCI, I got an opportunity. Meanwhile, parallelly, I managed my legal profession also. I was going to the courts in those days, and I continued my profession also as a full-time lawyer till 2010. But after 2010, even though I'm an enrolled lawyer in the High Court of Kerala at Cochin, I stopped, or I rather reduced my involvement in the legal profession, and I took training as my full-time profession. And by the grace of God, I am moving. And I'm also a part of the Lions Clubs International, wherein which I was the district governor last year. And this year, currently, I'm the old Kerala chairman of Lions Club International. We call it the multiple council chairperson. So I am into social leadership. I'm into building leaders through training. I'm slightly into the legal profession, giving leadership in legal profession and legal advice. And I'm actually enjoying my profession. But I tell you, I'm a lawyer by profession, but still and every time till my breath, death, I want to be a trainer by passion. This is how slowly from a remote village of Kasaragod district, Vamanakumar has gone up to this level and become a trainer, what you'd say, who can deliver something to the viewers all over the globe. That is my history, Sri.
That's such an inspirational story. And I would like to add something. We are listening to Advocate Vamanakumar, an international trainer who traveled all the way from a remote village in Kerala, from Kasaragod, to all the way to United Nations to make a paper presentation. That is something which you have missed in your presentation. And I would like to add that as well. You made on people development, you made a presentation, a paper presentation in United Nations as a part of JCI. That was, again, a fantastic achievement. Probably I can say many of those million will not get that opportunity to present yourself in United Nations. And congratulations for that as well, sir. So that is amazing. So I would like to throw this question before. I know Manoj sir will have a lot of questions to ask. Before, I just want to overtake him in this. Actually, what you call as this people leader. So who is that people leader? What's the difference? Like, say, always we have this misconception that leadership quality is only for manager. So only for, leaders, so-called leaders in inverted commas. So who is this people leader?
Yeah. Shrikaran, my answer is very simple. Leadership is a choice, not a right. I repeat, leadership is a choice, not a right. And leadership is not authority, but it is responsibility. You need not have to own any authoritative designations and such nomenclatures and the taglines with you to prove and perform as a leader. That is what actually leadership is all about. I'm reminded of a quote by John Quincy Adams, the 6th President of the United States of America. Among the hundreds and umpteen number of definitions that we can listen or come across about leadership, the definition given by John Quincy Adams impressed me the most. The definition is very simple, my dear friends. If your actions inspire others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, you are a leader. If your actions inspire other people to dream more or dream big, if your actions somehow and some way inspire people to do more, perform better than what they are doing, and learn more and more things, and also help people to become more. I want to grow. I want to push my level up. I want to raise the bar every time in my life. if you can inspire people to do these 4 things, you are a people leader. Just take an example of Nelson Mandela, the Nobel Peace winner of 1994, co-winner of Nobel Peace Prize in 1994, spending 27 years inside a prison cell. He was a typical, or we can say he is one of the most typical examples of a people leader. You can also see whenever some accidents happen on the highway sides, Srigar and Manoj and me might have witnessed such accidents many a time. You know, before the rescue operators and the police people or the fire force people come, there are a few gentlemen who ignore everything, leave their valuables inside the bus or car where they travel. They run and they run very fast to the occurrence or the scene of the accident without waiting for anybody's instruction. They start the rescue operation. That is what actually people leadership is all about. So people leadership is something that is not at all connected and linked with any position you hold. Whenever you are ready to guide people, help people, support people in any way without expecting any reward back. People may not come and tell you that, oh, you have done a great job. That also is not leader. Without expecting any such reward back, when the situation demands, you can prove yourself as a leader. I just tell you, Srikiran, the foremost responsibility of a leader is to evaluate the reality first. And the last responsibility of a leader is to say thank you. In between, a leader is always a servant. In between, a leader is always a servant. So please, my dear young friends, remember the way up is down. The way up is down. You can go up only when you go down to the level of the people where you are supposed to extend your help as a leader. So people leadership is something what we can call as something like a servant leadership, something like a situational leadership. And you need not be the president of a political party or communal organization, sports organization, scientific organization, business organization, nothing. If you are a street vendor of a lottery ticket also, you can be a leader. That is what actually exactly we mean by people leadership. I think I made my point clear.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's a fantastic insight even for the people leadership. But I have this confusion again, not a confusion I have to say. Majorly in organization, what happens if somebody take an initiative, if somebody try to support someone, it will be always quoted in terms of politics. Say, for example, oh, that fellow is playing politics. So how can a person come out of this politics and still he can emerge as a leader naturally or organically in the organization?
Okay, there is a small story. A person once got a job in a company. The company senior manager offered him a bicycle to travel. When the bicycle was gifted to him, the cycle was not having a stand. So this employee, the new employee, asked the manager, hey, what can I do? How can I use this? How can I keep it somewhere? So without a stand, how can I use this bicycle? Okay, the senior manager took back the bicycle. Next day, he came back. Next day, when he came back, there was no carrier. You know, there is a carrier on the backside of the seat of the bicycle where which people keep some things. So he asked, hey, what is this? How can I carry something? So there is no carrier in this bicycle. Then the senior manager told him, if you want a carrier, don't take a stand. If you take a stand, your carrier is lost. So this is what actually sometimes, you know, there is all these politics and politics in all organizations. I tell you, my dear friends, your performance is your passport. Irrespective of the political, coterie, irrespective of the political, caucus that we find in every organization, if you actually concentrate in your responsibilities, your duties totally, and if your work is your worship, leadership position will come to you a day. Don't worry, you may have to wait for it. Suddenly, sometimes it may not come, and even the other employees may, the peers may sometimes play against you, try to backstab you. But don't worry, go ahead with your conscience, your morals, and put your best and 100% in your profession and your job. Your leadership position will come back to you. So don't get disheartened by somebody who is playing politics. You please be concentrated in your values and your sincerity and your loyalty at your workplace. Tomorrow or day after, deserving leadership positions will come to you. That is for sure.
Okay. Manoj sir, you have any questions now?
Questions already prepared. Everything is vanished in the thin air because of the first way the Vamanji has started. Because it's my honor and privilege, because he is the only person behind why I am wearing the cap of trainer. Everything goes to him. Vamanji, the people call you as Vamanji because I call you as Vamanatam, but I cannot call that name right now. So, Vamanji, you have the president of JCI, that is Junior Chamber International India, in the year of
Yes.
2004, and you are the number one across the world among 100 countries.
Yeah.
From there, you started the journey. In the last year, 2019, when you were the governor of Lions Club District International 318C, another meticulous way you have done from your side by providing more than 75 houses for the flood victims. That means in 2004, we have seen a leadership for the youths, but again, after 10 years or 15 years, you have shown another kind of leadership. Can you bring a string in between these two where the youngsters can get a lesson?
Yeah. 2003, I just stand to just correct Manoj, maybe. It was in 2003, I was the national president of JCI. So I was the second Kerala to reach to that position. And again, I just want to tell you that those days I was using a Bajaj Chetak scooter. I was not even owning a four-wheel in my life those days when I served JCI India with the 42,000 members, more than 1,000 local units across the country in 25 states. So I just wanted to prove the world that an ordinary man can also definitely perform. So that is how that year, one of the projects I introduced and learned that year is called the Jasmine, JC Academy for Smart Initiative for Empowerment. It's a program wherein which 150 students all over the country were selected, meritorious students were selected, without collecting even 1 rupee from them, even for their travel charge. From Jammu and Kashmir to Assam or to Gujarat to West Bengal to Kerala, 150 very meritorious, smart, bright students were taken to Ooty, and we gave them 3 days intensive training on leadership skills. And I can very well say that most of the participants of the first Jasmine program of 2003 are great achievers in their lives today. And even today, they remember with a sense of gratitude that program. So my entire focus, and Manoj, you may be remembering that my tagline for the year 2003 was focus for future.
Yes.
Once after 40 years, you cannot be that active in JCI. You can be active as a trainer. Even today, I'm the skill development committee of JCI India National Committee. But from that, my passion to serve the public and the people, that was actually unquenchable inside of mine. So I joined an organization called Lions Clubs International, and I moved to Cochin in 2010, and I got elected unopposed or unanimously as the vice governor. And 2018-19, I became the governor. 2018 Kerala flood happened. I personally saw and witnessed thousands and thousands of poor people who lost their dwellings. They became shelterless, and they were all below poverty line people. And it was not a task that could be completed by the government of Kerala to provide homes to all of them. So I put across this suggestion to my cabinet members and the club office bearers. And by the grace of God, I could raise more than 4.5 crores Indian rupees. And without collecting even 1 single rupee from any of these 75 people, we constructed 75 homes of 500 square feet in concrete buildings with 2 bedrooms, 1 kitchen and hall, and with all the facilities. And the governor, His Excellency, the governor of Kerala, Justice P. Sadashivam, came on 24th of June 2019 to Town Hall of Ernakulam to hand over the keys to the 75 poor people. And it was the highest rewarding moment in my life as a social entrepreneur, or you can say social leader, or whatever position. So from leading the youth only, I got the opportunity to understand actually what are the needs of the community, how can we deliver some sustainable solutions. Still now, Manoj, I believe that a leader is tested by what sustainable solutions he or she is giving to the society at large. So my transformation happened to Lionism only because I got a great opportunity to serve as the national president of JCI. And these two things, even today, I enjoy both. I am a very active trainer of JCI. I am very active in Lions Club International, the world's biggest voluntary service organization. So it was actually some sort of a metamorphosis that happened to me by my own passion to serve people and do something positively for the society at large.
So this is something which is really inspirational. Like I should say, Everyone should listen to this story. How you, and one thing I'm so much jealous of, Vaman sir, is how you remember these exact dates of your milestones. Because since my first question till now, you were able to recollect each date, each year, each and every month, which many of us even cannot do. This is something which I feel you cherish each moment much, more than anyone else, and you were able to recollect all those, even the dates, like 13th of June, or that dates. I don't know how you remember everything in that way, proper order.
Added to that one, not the dates also, but the stories. That
Absolutely.
is yes.
That's all a trainer's secret, because you can build up the rapport with the audience only if you remember the names, only if you remember the years, only if you remember the milestones. So that actually, I made it a point that I have to remember those things. No gimmicks, nothing.
Okay, so I have this question in mind again. So those youth, as we said, the leadership, like as you go to, you actually led the youth and then get into the social entrepreneurship. Now the question is, the youth in current days, they're quite susceptible to the news, to those, whatever setbacks which happens in their life. They are not able to lead their own life. Say even about a smallest decision on taking which course should I choose in my 11th and 12th standard, or what sort of career should I choose. They have to be led by someone, or probably even parent or a peer group is easily able to influence them to choose something else. They don't know whether that's a right choice for them. They are not able to lead themselves. So what is your advice, or how can a youth or a student lead themselves rather than depending on someone else?
My first advice is to find a mentor like Srigaran.
Oh my God,
such people will definitely help you to select your career stream in life. Okay, second part. To the youth, I have a small, I would like to share you the amazing achievement of a guy called Richard Thurow. Richard Thurow is a Kenyan boy who got an opportunity to speak on TED platform. You know what is TED? Technology, Education and Design. When he was a small, he is from Nairobi, Kenya. There is a national park in Nairobi, Kenya. And the southern part of the national park of Nairobi, Kenya is not walled, or there is no wall, there is no protection. So the predators, we can say the lions or such animals, in the night time will come, and they will eat the livestock of the people or the farmers. So this boy was born in a family, and one day the single bull of his family was killed by a lion. And his family members, thinking that they all came from Masais, they are called. The Masais, they believe that they all came from heaven with their livestock to earth. So they felt that it is their bounden responsibility to stop the lions from killing the livestock. So what they started doing, they started killing the lions. 6 lions in Nairobi National Park were brutally killed by the farmers of Nairobi, the villagers, the people of Nairobi. This boy was feeling so sad, losing the livestock one side and killing the lions on the other side. So he decided to take action. He was just actually 12. One day he put, he used a torchlight near to the cow shed. And first day the lions didn't come. Second day, the lions realized that the torchlight is stagnant, it is stationary. So they realized that it is something to cheat them. So they started coming again. And then he used a scarecrow. The scarecrow also, they initially worried about, the lions worried about, later they realized it is only a scarecrow. So what he finally did, he opening the radio of his mother, for which he was really punished by his mom. He studied some electronics. He took an old vehicle battery. He took some apparatus. He designed a device, and he, near the cow shed, he put some bulbs with a switch from his bedroom, and he started using the switch where the bulb will be flashing here and there, here and there, here and there. He realized that the lions are worried about flashing lights and moving lights, thinking that everywhere there is danger, so that the lions stopped coming there. In Nairobi and in that African country, almost all the farmers started making a small device developed by a 12-year-old boy to save his livestock. That is what leadership. So you have to think, whatever you are passionate about, you have to do it. Again, Ryan Well Foundation. Again, I just want to mention that name also. Ryan, when he was only 6 years of age, he heard that so many people are not getting good drinking water in African countries and developing countries or underdeveloped countries. And he understood that he needs 2,000 Canadian dollars. He is from Ontario, 2,000 Canadian dollars to dig a well in an African country. He requested his parents, and his parents started giving him some small tips for doing some household chores. And he collected 2,000 rupees. And with the 2,000 rupees, he handed over to an NGO. And when this boy was only 8 years of age, the well was dug in northern Uganda with that money. And from there, when he was only 11 years of age, that was in 2012, she started Rayan Well Foundation. And my dear young friends, believe me, today this Well Foundation is actively working in the field of providing drinking water facility in 18 developing countries in the world, already provided safe drinking water to more than 9 lakh people. He is a boy who got the World Children Award, and he's got actually the highest recognition from Ontario government also. So now it is his profession or his calling. Because something if you love and like from the boyhood or childhood or girlhood days itself, if you love that much in a very fervent and emotional way, definitely you can take your parents into confidence and always follow a career that you are passionate about. Don't forget about money. Money will come only if you are passionate about what you're doing. If you do something where you are not passionate about, money will not come. A study was conducted in America. More than 150 youngsters were followed by a person for 30 years. And out of these 150 youngsters, only 15% have chosen a career based on their passion. 85% have chosen a career based on their parents' insistence or possibility and probability and possibility to get money. And what happened? That 85% became very mediocre people in their life. After 30 years of long research and survey and study, this person realized that the 15% who have chosen their career based not on the basis of making money or insistence and compulsion of parents, they selected their career, they have chosen the career on the basis of passion, and they became extraordinarily outstanding achievers in life. So my advice to the youngsters, while selecting the career, the foremost thing you have to, or they have to look upon is, are they passionate about doing that thing? So they have to find what we say the Japanese term ikigai. What are they good at, and what they love to do, and what will they be paid for, and what the world needs. The 4 things they have to remember: what are they passionate about, what are they good to do, what they will be paid for, and what the world needs. These 4 elements have to be considered while selecting a career. And I'm very seriously telling, Srigaran is a national expert and a international record holder in conducting the career guidance facility. That is one aspect that prompted me to join this platform also. You have thousands of Srikirans who are very, very great experts in the field of career advice and giving you career map and career studies. Make use of the great experience of this great gentleman and the pride of India called Srigaran.
Thank you so much. I am actually honored to listen that from you. I'm actually excited. Now, the thing is, now, as per the study, India is almost in 27th place in the global index of suicide rates. So across the countries, and many of those, the reason which they find is, one is about they are in wrong career, or they are not getting that career satisfaction. Second one is about peer pressure, because they are building a lot of expectation on the child and he is not able to meet that expectation. So back in Bangalore, so NIMHANS as well conducted the study, and they identified many of the students are in India, they're actually confused when they are in 11th or 12th standard. Even the suicide rate is influenced even because of that expectation. So back in India also they studied. So how can we change this scenario, or probably by educating or empowering these children, even to empower these parents as well? How to lead their life, because even though they know this passion, sometimes they have to go with or participating in someone else's race. Parents are forcing, or teachers are forcing, the ecosystem actually forcing them to choose something else which they are not passionate about, leading in India into 27th place in terms of suicide rate. How can we change the scenario? So the ecosystem, how can we create?
Yeah. Srigaran, that is definitely a very, very valid as well as a very penetrating question to each one of us. So what is happening to our youngsters? And they are getting sandwiched. Every day they are getting sandwiched. From one side, their parents, other side, their peers. In between, these poor youngsters and young boys and girls are feeling, oh my God, this is very difficult for me to handle. So the only one is that they have to take care of their emotions. I just want to mention you, the youngsters who are listening to me, if necessity is the mother of invention, my dear friends, failure is the father. If necessity is the mother of invention, I remind you, failure is the father. Don't worry about failing in your efforts. Nobody could achieve something that is outstandingly great in their life without any failure. You might have heard about the Arjuna Award winner of 2019, a girl in whose name the national record for 400 meters running, 50.9 seconds. A girl from Assam, and her name is Hima Das. Hima Das was running in her schools without any shoes. When she got an opportunity to participate in a national championship, she told her father, who is an agricultural worker, Dad, please buy a pair of shoes for me. He went to the local shop and she brought a running shoe only, but a very inferior quality. And what Hima Das did, she wrote with a sketch pen Adidas, the name Adidas on both sides of the shoes. She went to participate in the national championship wearing the local cheap quality of shoe on which Adidas was written. In 2018, Under 20 World Athletic Championship happened in Finland. This girl became the champion, gold medal winner in 400 meters. The first woman athlete in the history of India ever to win a gold medal and international athletic championship is Hima Das, 2018 Under 20 World Athletic Championship in Finland. Adidas came to know that she wrote the name Adidas on her shoes, and the German giant of the sports shoe manufacturing company accepted and made her as the brand ambassador of her company. And Adidas came out with a new brand of shoes or new variety of shoes, and the name of the shoe is Hima Das. Now Adidas is selling a shoe with the name Hima Das printed on the shoes. She became the silver medalist in Asian track and field Asian Games in 2018, gold medal winner in 4x400 meters relay, gold medal winner in 4x400 meters mixed relay, and the country honored her with Arjuna Award and Padma Shri. My dear young friends, if you are determined to achieve something, all these difficulties and bottlenecks can be overcome. The only thing is that you must have the capability of resilience. You must have the capacity of emotional balance. Don't go for reactive behavior. Always go for responsive behavior. Even if somebody, I tell you, catch the bricks that people are throwing at you and use the bricks to construct a structure, not to hit you totally. Rather than allowing you to be hit by the bricks of criticism and some mistakes that people are finding in you, catch those bridges of criticism and those types of unnecessary, unjustifiable criticisms that people are throwing at you. Use those bricks to build up your career. So what I need, suicide is actually a permanent solution to a temporary problem. So please, my dear young friends, it will never solve any issue in your life. You please be mentally strong, emotionally strong, and always give positive self-talks to you. I am capable to bring back. I am capable to come back. And I remind you, please don't try to limit your challenges in life. Always try to challenge your limits in life. Don't try to limit the challenges in life. Always try to challenge the limits in life. So the only one remedy for stopping these types of, these things is maybe some sort of clinical advice, some sort of counseling advice, some sort of advice to the parents, some sort of advice to the unnecessary comparison the parents make on the children. And more often, please understand, your life is your responsibility, not the responsibility of your parents. It is your responsibility. Whether you succeed or fail is your responsibility. So please behave with that emotional intelligence. More than anything, please show that emotional intelligence and select a career. Even though you fail initially, you select a career. One more thing I will say. Sundar Pichai, the CEO of Google, was asked a question. When you are interviewing a top officer in Google, what are the questions you ask? Say, for example, a CEO, finance head, or marketing head, or HR head, or quality head, or sales head, or something like that. What are the main questions you ask? Sundar Pichai, the great Indian who is leading Google, the giant, he replied, we ask only one question. We ask only one question. The interviewer was really shocked and taken aback and amazed. You asked only one question. What is that? We ask one question and give 20 to 30 minutes to answer that question. The question is very simple. Explain one of the major setbacks in your life and how did you manage it? Explain one of the major setbacks in your life and how did you manage it? If a person can manage a major setbacks in life and how that person, he or she managed, explained within 20 to 30 minutes, Sundar Pichai or the CEO of any Fortune 500 company or the big company in the world will get a clear idea whether this guy is capable to manage his setbacks in life. My dear young friends, managing your setback, understanding and believing that every setback is a setup for a comeback. Every setback is a setup for a comeback. So that is what my simple or humble advice to the youngsters. Don't worry about too much about what your parents are telling. Don't worry too much about what your peers are telling. You please believe in your profession and your passion and work hard. Success will be yours, definitely at the end of the day.
So thank you. So I'm getting goosebumps because seriously, like the stories, the narratives, the way you are giving us, like I'm getting goosebumps and getting excited. I love to be a student, like always. I'm a good learner. Manoj sir knows, because now you are watching, guys, actually a teacher to student interaction where Manoj sir is my teacher and Vaman sir is Manoj sir's guru, and it's almost like all Guru Shishya Parampara is what you are seeing on the screen now. And we are also, me and Manoj sir, are just like disciples to Vaman sir, and then listening eagerly to you, just eagerly to him, just like the way all of you are listening to him. So please, my humble request is all of you, please watch this video multiple times from the beginning. This is something which is required, and please ask all the parents and all the kids. Please ask all your friends. Please watch this video multiple times so that they also will get an idea about how to lead the life. And then, Vamanji, when you said failure is the father, so I always have this question about resilience, because me, Manoj sir, and all of us conducted a very thorough research on employability skills over this past 5 years. So we identified 35 attributes which is required for an employee. So now one of those parameter which is rated high by all the employees, just like the way you said about failure, and the parameter which they rated was resilience. So as you rightly said, resilience. So what is that your suggestion? How can an employee come out of the resilience? Because now in this current COVID-19 scenario, many of them have felt like, yes, I have some problem. So I have failed, or this issue is there. And their inner dialogue and external dialogues are the same. The inner dialogue also saying, I have problems. External dialogue also saying, there are problems. You are not going to succeed. The world is going to end. Your career is lost. Your business is lost. Everything. So how can we come out of these things, this failure, these setbacks? So how can we get the excellent skill set called resilience?
Yeah, that is actually, there are a lot of examples in the world for resilience, but I don't want to, due to the paucity of time, I don't want to go to that. But one example I just want to tell you, that the person who started KFC, this is a very popular story, all of us know. The person who started KFC, that Colonel Sanders, he developed a chicken recipe, and I read in a book that 104 hotels rejected his recipe. Even after 104 rejections, this gentleman actually continued, and he started a small shop in his own way. And now, KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken, is the chain hotels where, the same tasty fried chicken is available in all the continents in the world. So that is actually the capability of resilience, we can say. You all know J.K. Rowling. J.K. Rowling, who actually got divorced, and she wrote her book. Her first book was 90,000 words. She was not having money to take photostat copy those days. And she typed the copy, and she took 12 copies of her first Harry Potter series book. She went to 12 publishing houses. All the 12 publishing houses rejected outrightly. Again, she went to Bloomsbury Publications, a small publishing company in London. And once again, the 13th time, she requested the honor. And the daughter of the owner of Bloomsbury Publication read that, and she liked it very much. And she instead her dad to publish that book. Today, she is the only one author in the history of the world who earned $1 billion through writing. Her total asset value is more than $3 billion. So the first $1 billion author is J.K. Rowling. What a rejection. Maravan Attupattu, the former captain of Sri Lanka cricket team, he was playing domestic cricket wonderfully well. and he was selected to the national cricket team. First innings, 0. Second innings, 0. 21 months waited outside playing domestic cricket, hitting so many hundreds. Called back to the team. First innings, 0. Second innings, 1 runs. 17 months again playing domestic cricket. Grinding himself too much. Came back to the test team again, third time. First innings, 0. Second innings, 0. Again, dismissed from the team. 3 years again outside playing domestic cricket. And after 3 years, he came back. And my dear friends, Marvan Attapattu took 6 years and 3 months to score his second run in test cricket. 6 years and 3 months to score the second run in test cricket. And after that, he scored more than 5,000 runs for Sri Lankan national team, 16 centuries and 6 double centuries. And he even became the captain of the Sri Lankan test cricket team. One of the best examples we can show to resilience is this. So I just tell you, in this COVID scenario, the whole world is talking, yes, there are a lot of problems. Internally, we are telling problems. Externally, we are telling problems. So I just want to give you a small acronym or a small password for success. And that password is CASH. C-A-S-H. C stands for conquer your fears. COVID-19 is not a phenomenon for you and me alone. It's a phenomenon to the whole world. You can even tell that America is going to lose 1 lakh people. 1 lakh is going to be nearing 1 lakh people who lost their lives in COVID-19 situation. Such a wealthy nation in the world. So conquer your fear, my dear friends. So there is nothing in this world to fear except to fear itself. So you can come back and show resilience if you conquer your fear. And A stands for acquire new skills. You know, playing the same tricks in the game and expecting different result is insanity. You cannot continue in the post-COVID situation with the old skills. You have to equip new skills. You have to develop new skills. And the new skills will definitely give you the power of resilience. You will feel so confident inside. Yes, during this COVID-19, I learned this new skill. Now I am equipped and I am capable enough to face the challenges of the world. So the alphabet A is acquire new skills. And A stands for, share new strategies. Or you have always look for, or you have to share for, or you have to develop, or you have to find out new strategies in your life. So what are the new strategies for facing the situation? How can I manage the situation in the post-COVID situation, post-COVID life? And the H means the final and the most important one, hang on to hope. Hang on to hope. If you lose your hope in this situation, nothing is going to come back to your friends. Resilience is the capacity to bounce back. And bounce back can happen only if you do have the hope that, yes, I can bounce back. Yes, it is possible to bounce back. So through this small acronym and so small technique of CASH, I believe every one of us can bounce back. Every one of us can show resilience. And that is what actually Kiran and Manoj has identified. People will definitely be showing, or companies and corporates are looking into employees who have the capacity to bounce back and show resilience. This is my humble advice to the youngsters looking for their career establishment in life.
Thank you so much. Manoj sir, I'm so sorry on excitement. I forgot that we have a lot of questions to ask, and I, in advance, I asked a lot of questions. Sir, over to you.
I don't want to lose the rhythm in the sense that, Vamanji, you are the part of the student politics. Later, you are the part of the serious politics also. And there was a question raised by, I hope, Kiran's father also raised the one question regarding the politics also. So in Mumbai also, one university is giving degree in to become the minister. So can you give some highlights about student politics, the importance of student politics, and what is the need of those kind of people in the current scenario?
Okay, I don't remember the author. Somebody, Bernash, I believe, politics is the last resort of a scoundrel, somebody told. But I don't agree with that. Maybe I beg to differ. If I am optimistic and confident to face an audience today, if I'm capable to stand in front of even 1 lakh people and speak, I got that confidence only through my campus politics. Those days, I don't say that those days were the golden days and these days are the rough days in this politics, but still, lot of value erosion happened in campus politics and student politics over the days. But still, if we are becoming a part of, students become a part of the positive politics, politics is not actually something to, we pull the legs of someone else or throw mud on someone else. Politics is not something to actually demoralize someone else. Politics is something for the betterment and improvement of the campus, a harmonious coexistence of the students, expressing our views in a non-fearful way. And if we approach politics in that way, it is definitely good. Whether you are interested in politics or not, politics will never be uninterested in you. Politics will always be interested in us, and we are governed by politicians. The country also needs, responsible politicians. Country needs responsible politicians. And we have to, recently what happened in JNU campus and all, I don't want to go to a debate on that. So people, if students are actually into political activities, and if they are using that politics for a constructive purpose, not for a destructive purpose, definitely that is good. Somebody was just sadly chatting that politics doesn't require any qualification. But I slightly disagree. Politics needs the highest qualification of managing people. Managing people. If a politician does not know how to manage the people, and if a politician does not know how to handle disagreements, that politician can never be successful. So I don't say, Manoj, politics is not totally something negative. Politics is definitely something positive. But the way we handle it and deal, that is up to the students to decide. I strongly stand with the principle that campus politics must be encouraged in a very harmonious, peaceful, supportive style, rather than destroying or killing or injuring or hurting the people from other political campaigns or philosophies. So I am a best example because I contested in Kerala Assembly election in 2006. But after that, when I became a full-time trainer, I was not an independent candidate. I was a candidate of a major political party and a major political front in Kerala. I contested knowing very well that I'm going to lose that election. But more than 60 days, I got wonderful opportunity to travel around the nook and corner, 182,000 voters of my constituency. I interacted with them and I shared some feelings to them. The Hindu newspaper conducted a survey, 2006 Kerala Assembly election. I didn't know they are doing that survey. And they came out with an article, 10 most eligible candidates to be voted for. And later only I came to know, somebody sent me that. Hindu wrote an article, 10 most eligible candidates to be voted for. I can very happily tell you that this humble man called Adv.Vamanakumar was one among the 10 people. But unfortunately, that in the dumb ears of my voters, having the political stigma in their minds, they didn't read, they didn't understand. But still, I had the pleasure of contesting in the election. I could understand the pulse of the people. I could go to the people. So I don't say that politics. We need great and good politicians also to change the destiny of this country and the state also. So please go ahead.
Okay. So we have one more other question over here by Dr. Murali. So his question is, during and post-COVID-19, how to overcome the challenge to convince the virtual listeners and keep them on our track? Because he is now, he's an academician. He is heading our CLAP MBA college. So the question is basically, the challenge is leading the students in a virtual world. So that is another challenge, because earlier we had this, face-to-face interaction. Now everything has come to virtual, even in a classroom. So how can we overcome this challenge of being in virtual listeners or leading them?
Yeah, that is really a challenge that me and Manoj, we are all facing now, because we all do our training programs online and virtual world now. And we have no assurance and guarantee that actually whether the listeners are listening to us totally, are they engrossed in our presentation, or are they just doing something here and there? We have no idea. So it is really a big challenge. But I tell you, if you can keep your student community, vertical student community, totally interested and engrossed in your presentation, by the way you design. The biggest challenge of a teacher coming days in the virtual platform is, how do you design your sessions? How do you design your presentations? Please don't allow them to deviate their attention and move their attention, stray away from what you are telling. Use the chat box, or make it an interactive platform. Give them opportunity to think in themselves and get back to you maybe within every 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Give them some sort of an assignment and ask them to send the answer and talk in terms of their language. That is what actually do. That convincing capacity. It is actually communication skills. Actually, when we do not see the people face to face, how can we communicate? It's a big challenge. But understand that is reality. There is no other option. We have to manage that communication skills. Otherwise, it is not possible. So I tell you, the main thing is that you please keep them engaged totally. How can a presenter or a teacher keep the children engaged? Millennials are, and they won't listen to you for. Normally, we say that to an adult audience, it is 20 minutes is the attention span. To a youngster, it is 45 minutes. If you go on lecturing, even after 45 minutes, I don't think that they will be listening to you. So I tell you, my dear friends, use those types of interactive techniques, devise something in your design your sessions, some sort of an interactive techniques you bring in your presentations, and don't allow them an opportunity to move out of their place, move out of keeping the video off. They may be moving away. Don't give them opportunity. They have to get an idea that he may be asking me to do something. He may be asking me to replay something. He may be asking me to test my intelligence. So this gentleman is talking something. The only way to keep them engaged totally is to speak them something they do not know. Keep them something they do not know. Speak them something they want to listen. Keep them something that will be type of a darshan-oriented address, giving them some darshan through your speeches. So that is what, design your program, design your presentation, and 45 minutes, 1 hour virtual presentation with some interactive learning modules and techniques, and don't allow them to move out of their seats, and talk to them in their language and appeal to their hearts and minds straight away, and create a feeling that it is user in need, it is user relevant. If it is user in need and user relevant, no, it is. Trainers also, sometimes, I have conducted a virtual platform wherein which 1,000 people attended more than 5 times during this lockdown time. I was keeping my eye every time to the participants list. How many are quitting? How many are leaving? When I feel that somebody is leaving, immediately I will start with a story. And I am 100% sure till I complete my story, they will not leave. So one after another, I was actually placing the stories here and there. Just like, some sort of a masala we are putting in some sort of a ingredient or a recipe. That is the only way, and it's a very tough challenge. Keeping the millennials or the Google generation totally absorbed in a presentation is a big challenge. But what to do? If you want to be relevant, if you want to be employed, if you want to sustain, you have to devise those methods. So let us be innovative. No other option.
One more question which we have by Mr. Sharad. So all the leaders, if you're asked to select top 10 leaders, whom would you select? Probably we don't require 10, at least 1. So whom do you select, and probably you can add, why?
Really, it's a big question, but I can definitely tell. You may think that I'm going to the traditional old school of thoughts, but I have to be. One top 10 leader, of course, no doubt, Mahatma Gandhi. Another top 10 leader, definitely, I believe Nelson Mandela. Why these two people? Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in the prison. It was on 11th February in 1990, he was released. He was released from the prison called Victor Wester. Lakhs and lakhs of black people were waiting outside the prison, the wall, to receive the leader of the country, who is bringing freedom to their people. And when the gate of the room or the gate of the prison, Victor Wester, was opened, unlocked, Nelson Mandela came out. It was being telecast live all over the world. Bill Clinton was the governor of Kansas those days. He was not the president of America. Bill Clinton, Hillary Clinton, and their daughter Chelsea were watching this online. Nelson Mandela came out of the Victor Wester prison, and he walked 50 meters. Suddenly he turned back. He turned back and he was staring, simply he was staring 1 whole minute, that building where he spent 27 years. Victor Wester was the last 2 years only. The jail building he spent. And suddenly Chelsea, the daughter of Bill Clinton, asked her dad, why Mr. Mandela is looking back and staring that building? Clinton told, I don't know. If I get an opportunity to meet that gentleman, I will ask him. Years later, Clinton became American president. He met Nelson Mandela and he asked this question, Mr. Mandela, my daughter asked you this question. Why did you stand and stop, turn back and look at that building? Why did you look at that building for a minute? Again started walking outside. Did you hate that building that much? Did you hate that building that much? Nelson Mandela replied, I'm sorry. Had I hated that building, I would have once again become a prisoner in my life. Had I hated that building, I would have once again become a prisoner in my life, a prisoner of hatred. I can never become a prisoner of hatred because I am the disciple of Mahatma Gandhi. My dear friends, the influence Mahatma Gandhi made on the life of Nelson Mandela and the influence Nelson Mandela made on our lives. Coming to the modern generation, I worship Sachin Tendulkar as a great leader. I worship Steve Jobs as a great leader. I worship Microsoft chairman Bill Gates as a great leader. I worship Elon Musk of Tesla as a great leader. I worship Biju Ravindran, the owner of Byju's Learning App, as a great leader. There are not so many internationally, nationally famous leaders in this category from all categories of life, but still the influence of Gandhiji and Mandela, they remain very strong in my mind as a role model leaders whom I worship and admire a lot.
Thank you so much. That's an amazing, rendition of all those thoughts and about the leaders. And seriously, we actually were able to visualize Nelson Mandela standing right outside the prison and then staring at it. This is the power of storytelling, I believe, and I expect now, Dr. Murli definitely will be able to get a faculty that, how to make the students visualize on the stories or through the stories. Thank you so much for that. So my one last question, because we are almost there at 56 minutes now, and we have spent a lot of time with us. Manu sir, if you don't have any question, then I can throw the last question to Vaman sir.
You may, because already we spent 1 hour. You may, please.
The one last question. This is something probably can be a cliche question, which you may get every time. This question always, everyone will have this in mind, and probably everyone will put this as a fate, a positive way, or probably they will say, I didn't get that zeal to win. So this question, every employee, every entrepreneur, even every student have in mind that some people keep winning in their career and life, and I am not. So some people keep winning in their career and in their life, and I am not. They always put that in bold letters that I'm not able to win. And we can always say impossible to possible and everything stories, which we say still, they will be positive for that one moment. But after that, again, they will go back that, yes, some people have chosen to be winners and I'm not in that career. So what is your thought on this, and how can we also make people or make ourselves keep winning?
Yeah, that is I will explain it with a very short time and a very short story. Once upon a time, a gentleman went to Madison Square in New York with the 2 dogs, one white dog and one black dog. There was fight between the dogs, and he used to enter into bet. Every time the owner of the dog only won the bet. 10 years he continued, he made money, and he stopped the whole exercise. After 20 years, one person who used to go and watch at the dog fight met the dog owner, and he asked, sir, I noticed one thing. Every time, whichever dog you bet that is going to win, that dog only won. What is the secret? She told, very simple. After one dog fight on Saturday evening, I come back home. I will decide which dog is going to win next week. I will decide whether the white dog is going to win or the black dog. If I decide the white dog is going to win, next 1 week, I will starve the black dog. I will not give any food to the black dog. The next week, the white dog is going with the full energy and health, and the black dog is totally weak, frail, because no food for the last 1 week. Automatically, the white dog will win. Next week, if I wanted the black dog to win, I will just do the same to the black dog. So it was my simple technique. My dear friends, I just tell you, there is a black dog and a white dog in every one of our minds. In your mind, in my mind, there is a black dog and a white dog. The white dog is, I can win philosophy. The black dog is, I cannot win thinking. Which dog you are feeding is your choice. Are you feeding, I can win dog, or are you feeding, I cannot win dog? You decide. All the consistently winning people have 5 habits. I'm finishing. All the consistently winning people have 5 habits in their life. Remember the 5 habits. The first habit they all have in their life is they will always empower their thinking. Empower your thinking is one habit you have to develop. Second one, embrace change. Embracing change is the third habit you have to develop. Third one, empower people. You will become a constant winner only by empowering others. And next one, envision your future. Envisioning is your fourth habit. And finally, my dear friends, evaluate your growth. So evaluating, envisioning, empowering, and embracing, and this is what actually the 5E habits. If you can have, definitely keep on practicing these 5E habits of success, I believe you can become a constant winner. There is no shortcut. There is no the quick way. It is only that your decision, your determination, and your decision to win. Only one thing, the final thing I have to tell my dear friends is that, if it is to be, it is up to me. Always remember, if it is to be, it is up to me. That philosophy will make you a constant winner. And I wish all the very best to you to become constant winners. And thank you, Srikiran and Manoj, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to attend this great forum, interacting with the youngsters and the job seekers and others. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. That's a fantastic and amazing session. Manoj sir, you want to share something?
Thank you very much, Vamanji, because in your life, everything that is achieved by you, earned by you, it is not set up by anybody else. So your life is your message, and most of the youngsters, I hope they received the best message in their life. So over to Srikiran, please.
Thank you so much, Vaman sir, for this amazing, exciting, informative, inspiring session. I don't have words to explain. And I say normally every session, end of every session, I used to summarize the session. And dear viewers of Career Coffee, please, this is my incapability. I will be able to summarize the words, the information which Vaman sir has shared, but I won't be able to summarize the excitement, the inspiration, the real motivation, and the aspiration which Vaman sir has shared in this entire session. So I suggest all of you, please go and watch this multiple times. And please always remember, the way to up is always down. As Vaman sir rightly said, and performance is your passport. So please keep performing. And he gave a tip for you to overcome your resilience, to come out of it, called cash. Please go back and see this video. First one, conquer your fear, acquire the skills, share new strategies, and hang on to hope. So this COVID-19, we can overcome with this small acronym, cash, and keep that in mind. And if it is to be, it is always up to you. So keep that in mind. And with that wish, this is really a reinventing Tuesday. As I said in my Facebook post, it's going to be a reinventing Tuesday. And it's a reinvention for all of us. Such an excitement and inspiring sessions. Thank you so much, Vaman sir, for this amazing session and for spending time with us. Thank you so much. We will see you all tomorrow evening, 5 o'clock. With a new session. It is going to be on management, and Thursday we have a great surprise as well, and I expect all of you to be there. Thank you so much for being there. Thank you so much, Vaman sir, once again, and look forward to meet you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.